guys, welcome back to the Nerd Block, where we talk all things anime, video games, movies, manga, collectibles, and much more. Before we get this episode started, I want to say I hope everybody's having a great Father's Day. For all the fathers out there, I hope you're spending some time with your kids and your loved ones. But let's get this episode started. The first game we picked up was a copy of Face Breakers. It was made by EA and released for the PS3 and Xbox 360. This game comes from the creators of the Fight Night series, which if you know those kind of boxing games, they're great to play, a lot of fun to be had. The gameplay reminds me of Celebrity Deathmatch with Rumble Rose and Ready to Rumble. If you mix it in a blender and combine it, you would get this game. So if you like games like Celebrity Deathmatch, Rumble Roses, Ready to Rumble, those type of fighting games where it's off the wall wackiness, but gives you a lot of fun to play with yourself or with others, this is the game to play. Especially if you're hanging around with friends and having a few drinks, I highly recommend Face Breakers. It's out for the Xbox 360 and the PS4. Go check it out. The next game we picked up was a copy of Mortal Kombat vs. DC, released for the Xbox 360 and PS3 in collaboration with WB, DC, and Midway. This is a huge mashup of characters from both DC and Mortal Kombat with 22 characters to play as, 11 on each side. Each character uses their own unique abilities and powers in combat. The combat takes more inspiration from the Mortal Kombat series with 6 hours of storyline gameplay, very cool modes, and features like free fall and combat where you mash buttons to do different abilities. Fatalities are dumbed down, but the game is still a lot of fun to play. If mashups are your type of games, Mortal Kombat vs. DC is the game for you. The next game we picked up is God of War Ragnarok, released for the PS4 and PS5. It's a direct sequel to the previous God of War game, taking place a few years later, giving you a better storyline and improved graphics and an amazing soundtrack, making every scene seem emotional and heart-pounding. Some of the cinematics makes you feel like you're in the story, and the story writing is amazing. It really shows how much better the God of War games have gotten with storytelling. With 25 to 30 hours of gameplay, new abilities, new skills, and better graphics, this game will keep you glued onto your seat. I highly recommend God of War for the PS5 or the PS4. Best in its series. The next game we picked up is a copy of Wet. This game gives off Deadpool mixed with Wanted, thrown in a blender, and add a dash of Grindhouse movies, and you get the game Wet. This is a single player shooter game with punk vibes, a super kick ass soundtrack, and amazing abilities like Max Payne and Wanted, where you're able to slow down time for you to fire at enemies and do flashy combat moves. You get some really cool abilities and weapon unlocks. You also get some quick time events that keep you on the edge of your seat. So if you like action packed games that are over the top, Wet is the game for you. Check it out. The last game on the list that we picked up is Rumble Rose. It's an Xbox 360 exclusive. It's made by Konami. This is a fighting wrestling game with single player and multiplayer modes built in. In this game, you play as overly sexualized female wrestlers where you go up the ranks like your typical wrestling games. It's a mix of Dead or Alive, Ready to Rumble, and a WWE wrestling type of game. This game is pretty cool, and the quirky humor adds to the Dead or Alive XXX kind of mechanics that they add to the wrestling, making the wrestling mechanics even funnier. You get to choose from over 20 different characters. Some of them are unlockable. Some great entrance theme songs and openings are just insanely funny for these characters. If you like wrestling games and dark humor, Rumble Rose is the type of wrestling game you want to play. So check out this game. The last item we picked up is a physical media. It's Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, released in 2024. This is a sci-fi action adventure. It is currently sitting at a 6.20 out of a 10 on IMDb and a 54% on Rotten Tomatoes. This movie is about an hour and 55 minutes long with no post-credit scenes. Honestly, I was super excited to watch this movie. I'm a huge Godzilla fan, but this movie had too much of an emphasis on the humans and King Kong. A lot of the movie focused on them and not Godzilla. I would say Godzilla maybe had 10 minutes of screen time. The only time he was really in it was towards the end battles, and that's when he actually kicked butt. But other than that, he was barely in the movie. The movie introduces you to a new Kong, Baby Kong. I call him Diddy Kong after Donkey Kong because he's no Kong. If you're a Godzilla fan, go check out this new chapter, Godzilla X Kong, now available. So that's it for this episode, guys. Thanks for watching. You can do me a favor and please hit that like and follow button. And please leave me a comment in the comment section letting me know what your favorite game we picked up was and what game do you recommend we should try next. And once again, happy Father's Day for all the fathers out there. And remember, my fellow nerds, stay nerdy. Peace out.